Hi everybody, how are you all? I haven't been on for a while. The last video I made was about protein and I have been experimenting with increasing my protein and it didn't really go as I expected. I have found that weight loss wise, increasing my protein is a bad idea. So if you're going to try and lose weight, it's not really, you're not going to lose weight, but do I feel better? I don't feel better. I don't feel any different really. Um, the only thing I think I noticed, but it could be too soon, it's about 3 weeks, is that I don't know if any of you do this, but when I walk up the stairs, sometimes I press on my leg muscles, the top ones, to see, and I thought they were a little bit harder, or a little bit for something. It wasn't even harder, like exercise harder. It was just what I did notice is my motivation to go walking was decreased. I normally do a very vegetarian ketogenic diet. I do eat beef. I love a bowl of chili. I love a steak. I don't eat carbs. The carbs I eat are rocket leaves. But I found myself when I increased my protein, I decreased my salad eating of, like Brussels. Normally, often a meal for me would be Brussels sprouts made in the microwave because I'm too lazy. Then I put cheese on them, a lot of cheese, and I put a lot of butter on them. That might be my lunch. I would have more protein, say later on, but I wouldn't be a massive protein eater. The main protein I would have is I would have 3 or 4 eggs in an omelette. I wouldn't really call it an omelette because they're not beaten. And I'd have fried garlic, fried onions, fried mushrooms in with it. And then I might put some rocket leaves with it, and would put some cheese on it. I would eat quite a lot of cheese. I love brie. I love every kind of cheese really, Parmesan. And that's what I noticed. Had a slightly heavier feeling. Definitely, yeah, I just thought, no, that could have been something else. Could have been the weather. It's been very hot. So maybe I wasn't really motivated to walk because I don't want to be out in the heat. Who knows? Sometimes two things happen together, like two buses come together. So you don't actually know which was the right bus to get on. So I'm not 100% sure whether it was the protein or whether it was the increase in protein, but I substantially increased my protein, and I didn't really feel any better. Definitely it stopped the weight loss, and I think I kind of like lighter proteins like eggs and cheese and stuff. I do like beef, of course. I do. I love a steak. I mean, we have steaks. We did cook more steaks. Um, I don't know. It just didn't go the way I kind of expected. And yet at the same time, I'm nothing against protein. I do, like I said, eat a bowl of chili, beef chili. So I would have a lot of protein. I found myself eating a lot of nuts, um, more than normal. So I don't know, maybe that was the weight loss thing. Your weight is not to do with fat, but there would be carbohydrates in the nuts. I eat generally pistachios, which are pretty low in carbohydrates. So that might kick you into release of insulin, and which would mean that there's some fat storage. So I don't know, but the jury is out for me on protein. I do think protein is really important, but I think I was probably getting enough beforehand. I had been watching this doctor who is really into protein, this doctor in America, I cannot remember his name right now, Don something, and he said some people should have at least 35 grams of protein for each meal and up to 60 for your dinner. It just didn't work for me. And he actually promotes protein shakes, even though that's because he makes his own. On the other hand, he says the protein should come from natural sources. Protein shakes are highly processed. So it was a good experiment. I think what I like about what I'm doing is that I do jump on a bandwagon, and I seek out the information to see, and I try it on myself. So if I think I'm going to go back to my old diet, which I prefer. I feel a bit better on it. I feel like walking more. I feel heavier with the increase in protein. I was eating a lot more chicken, a lot more beef. And definitely it's not for me.